Do you know who you are? Break free from limiting beliefs. This question might seem simple, but it cuts to the core of why most people never reach their true potential. Right now, you might be living as a shadow of who you're meant to become, trapped by invisible mental barriers that were programmed into your mind years ago. The painful truth is that the biggest obstacle to your success isn't external circumstances, lack of opportunities, or even bad luck. It's the false identity you've accepted as permanent reality. But here's what the most successful people throughout history have discovered. Self-awareness, combined with the courage to challenge your limiting beliefs, is the master key that unlocks every door to personal growth and achievement. What you're about to learn will completely shift how you see yourself and what you believe is possible in your life. This isn't just motivational theory. These are the same mindset transformation principles that Napoleon Hill studied in the most successful people of his time, and they work just as powerfully today. Get ready to discover the real person who's been hiding behind years of conditioning and false limitations, because once you understand who you truly are, nothing will ever be the same again. Many people walk through life wearing masks they've unconsciously created, never truly understanding who they are beneath the surface. Self-awareness begins with the courage to look in the mirror and ask the uncomfortable questions that most avoid. Your identity isn't just what you do for work or the roles you play in relationships. It's the collection of values, dreams, and inner potential that make you uniquely you. When you start peeling back the layers of social expectations and external pressures, you begin to discover the authentic person who's been waiting to emerge. This journey of self-discovery isn't always comfortable, but it's absolutely essential for personal growth. The fascinating thing about human nature is that we often know ourselves less than our closest friends know us. We carry blind spots about our strengths, our limiting beliefs, and our true capabilities that prevent us from reaching our full potential. Think about a time when someone pointed out a talent you possessed but never recognized. That moment of revelation is what self-awareness feels like. Your mind has been programmed by years of experiences, comments from others, and societal conditioning that may not reflect your true nature. Breaking free from this programming requires the kind of honest self-examination that separates successful people from those who remain stuck in mediocrity. Self-awareness also means recognizing the patterns that have been holding you back without even realizing it. Perhaps you've been telling yourself you're not good with money, but have you ever seriously studied financial literacy or tried different investment strategies? Maybe you believe you're not a natural leader, yet you've never put yourself in situations where leadership skills could develop. The stories we tell ourselves become our reality, and most of these stories were written by a younger, less experienced version of ourselves. What if the person you think you are is just a rough draft and the real masterpiece is still waiting to be written? Limiting beliefs are like invisible chains that bind your potential, often forged in childhood and strengthened by every failure or criticism you've experienced along the way. These mental barriers whisper things like, "You're not smart enough," "People like you don't become wealthy," or "Success is for other people, not you." The most dangerous part about these beliefs is how natural they feel. They've become so integrated into your thinking that you don't even question their validity. Every time you say, "I can't," or "I'm not the type of person who," you're reinforcing these psychological prison walls. The first step to freedom is recognizing that these beliefs are not facts. They're simply thoughts you've practiced so much they feel true. Your mindset transformation begins when you understand that beliefs are nothing more than thoughts you've thought repeatedly until they became automatic. Consider how many of your current limitations stem from a single comment someone made years ago, or from one embarrassing failure that you've allowed to define your entire self-image. The human brain is designed to seek evidence that confirms what it already believes. So if you believe you're destined for mediocrity, you'll unconsciously look for proof of that everywhere. However, this same mental mechanism can work in your favor. When you start believing in your capacity for success mindset, your brain will begin noticing opportunities and possibilities that were always there but previously invisible to you. Breaking free from mental barriers requires more than just positive thinking. It demands a complete rewiring of your mental programming through consistent, deliberate action. Start by identifying one limiting belief that has been particularly persistent in your life. Then find 3 pieces of evidence that contradict it. For example, if you believe you're terrible at public speaking, remember the times you've successfully explained something to a friend, given directions to a stranger, or passionately defended your favorite sports team. These small acts of communication prove you have the basic skills. You just need to expand and develop them. The key is taking small, manageable steps that gradually build new neural pathways and create fresh evidence of your capabilities. Most people go through life on autopilot, allowing their subconscious programming to make decisions for them without ever realizing they have the power to take conscious control. Your thoughts, emotions, and reactions have been shaped by years of conditioning. But here's the revolutionary truth: you can reprogram this mental software at any age. Personal growth happens when you stop being a passive victim of your conditioning and start becoming the conscious architect of your own mind. Every moment presents a choice between responding from your old programming or consciously choosing a new response that aligns with who you want to become. This shift from unconscious reaction to conscious choice is where true life transformation begins. The process of mental reprogramming isn't about denying negative thoughts or pretending everything is perfect. It's about developing the awareness to catch yourself in the act of negative thinking and consciously choosing a more empowering perspective. When you notice yourself thinking, "I always mess things up," you can pause and reframe it as, "I'm learning and improving with each experience." This isn't just feel-good psychology. It's practical mindset transformation that creates measurable changes in your behavior and results. Your brain literally rewires itself based on the thoughts you consistently choose to think, creating new neural pathways that support your desired outcomes rather than reinforcing old patterns of limitation. Taking control of your mental programming also means becoming selective about the information and influences you allow into your consciousness. The books you read, the people you spend time with, and the content you consume are all programming your subconscious mind, whether you realize it or not. If you want to develop a success mindset, surround yourself with stories of people who've overcome similar challenges to yours. Read biographies of entrepreneurs if you want to start a business. Study the habits of healthy people if you want to transform your physical condition, or learn from master communicators if you want to improve your relationships. Your environment is constantly shaping your thoughts, so take conscious control of what you're exposing yourself to daily. Deep within every person lies a treasure trove of untapped talents, dormant abilities, and unexpressed gifts waiting to be discovered and developed. The process of self-discovery is like being an archaeologist of your own potential, carefully excavating through layers of doubt, fear, and societal conditioning to uncover the gems that have been buried beneath the surface. Many people live their entire lives using only a fraction of their capabilities because they've never taken the time to seriously explore what they're truly capable of achieving. Your inner potential isn't limited by your current circumstances, education, or background. It's only limited by your willingness to dig deeper and experiment with different aspects of yourself. The most successful people in history weren't necessarily the most naturally gifted. They were the ones who became obsessed with uncovering and developing their unique combination of talents and interests. Consider how many of your current skills started as casual interests or accidental discoveries. Maybe you found out you were good at explaining complex topics when helping a friend with homework, or perhaps you discovered your entrepreneurial instincts during a childhood lemonade stand. These early indicators often point toward much larger capabilities that could be developed into significant strengths. The key is paying attention to activities that energize you, challenges that excite rather than drain you, and moments when time seems to fly by because you're so engaged in what you're doing. Personal growth accelerates when you commit to systematically exploring different areas of potential rather than limiting yourself to familiar territory. Set aside time each week to try something completely new. Take an online course in a subject that intrigues you. Volunteer for a project that stretches your comfort zone, or simply have conversations with people in fields that fascinate you. Each new experience provides data about your interests, natural inclinations, and hidden abilities. You might discover you have a knack for creative problem solving, a natural ability to motivate others, or an intuitive understanding of market trends. The goal isn't to become an expert in everything, but to gather enough information about your potential to make informed decisions about where to focus your life transformation efforts. Creating your ideal identity isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about consciously evolving into the best version of who you're meant to become. Mindset transformation begins with getting crystal clear about the person you want to be, not just the things you want to have or achieve. This means defining the character traits, values, and daily habits that would characterize your ideal self, then methodically closing the gap between who you are now and who you're becoming. Most people focus on changing their circumstances without changing themselves, which is why they often revert to old patterns, even when external conditions improve. True transformation happens from the inside out, starting with a clear vision of your future identity. The process of identity design requires you to think beyond your current limitations and conditioning, to envision what would be possible if you operated from a completely different set of beliefs and behaviors. What would you do differently if you truly believed in your ability to succeed? How would you show up in relationships if you had unshakable confidence in your worth? What risks would you take if failure was simply feedback rather than a reflection of your value as a person? These questions help you identify the specific mental barriers that need to be addressed and the new thought patterns that need to be cultivated. Your future identity serves as a North Star, guiding every decision and helping you evaluate whether each choice moves you closer to or further from who you're becoming. The beautiful truth about human potential is that you're not stuck with the identity you've carried up until now. You have the power to redesign yourself at any moment. Start by identifying one specific trait or capability you want to develop, then begin acting as if you already possess it in small, manageable ways. If you want to become more confident, start by making eye contact and speaking up in low-stakes situations. If you want to develop leadership qualities, look for opportunities to take initiative in group settings or volunteer to organize events. Each small action that aligns with your desired identity creates evidence in your subconscious mind that this new version of yourself is real and achievable. What aspect of your identity are you most excited to transform? And what's the smallest step you could take today to begin that journey? Everything you've just learned about self-awareness, breaking free from limiting beliefs, and unleashing your inner potential means absolutely nothing unless you take action on it, starting today. The difference between people who transform their lives and those who remain stuck isn't knowledge. It's the courage to consistently apply what they've learned, even when it feels uncomfortable or uncertain. This channel exists to provide you with the mental tools and strategies that can completely revolutionize your relationship with success. But the real work happens when you turn off this video and start implementing these concepts in your daily life. I want to hear about your breakthrough moments. Drop a comment below and tell me which limiting belief you're ready to demolish first, or share the one insight from today's video that hit you the hardest. Your life transformation journey starts with a simple decision to see yourself differently, and I'm here to support you every step of the way with more powerful content like this. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss the strategies that could be the difference between staying where you are and becoming who you're meant to be. Because your future self is counting on the choices you make right now.